Okay, we're replacing this upper housing assembly on this pump. This was the pump that's in my daughter's van, and she was visiting us here in southern Colorado over the winter, and left her heater off one night, and of course it was below zero, everything froze and cracked, including her faucet. So this pump split right here. I was trying to flex it open so you could see a crack there, but I can't really move it. But when we put water through it, put pressure on it, water just pours out right here. That's where it split. So I thought about, well, I'll take it apart and I'll try to seal it, but this is just not worth having a leak again. So this pump is 60 something, around 60 bucks on Amazon. This replacement part here is $23 shipped. So I thought, well, that'll save me 40 bucks or so. And now this is the pump that came out of her van. This is the exact pump that I have in the greenhouse, so it's working well for me. I like it because it's super, okay, I can't say super quiet, but it's very quiet when I compare it to other pumps that I've used in RVs. So it's part number 4008-101. Now this is the A65. I tried to find this exact pump, but I can't find this A65. I found the E65. I think the E65 supersedes this one, and that's why I can't find this exact one. Otherwise, the parts are exactly the same. The replacement parts are the same, whether it's A65 or E65, as far as I can tell. So we're going to rebuild this one. We went ahead and put an E65 in our van because I had an extra one sitting around, because I thought I was going to use two in the greenhouse and I'm just using one. So I had an extra one, so we just threw that in our van. It's working great. We're going to rebuild this one and just keep it as a backup, maybe for her van or maybe for the greenhouse if the pump goes bad. So, so this is awesome that we can do this. And it came with instructions. The part number for this is this right here, 94-800-00. And in the instructions, these are generic instructions for replacing different things like the check valve assembly or the motor. So there's kind of different things you have to look for. You have to look for the part number here, 94-800-00. We're replacing the upper housing assembly. There's the disassembly instructions. Here's the assembly instructions. So let's just go through it real quick here. And first thing, it says disconnect the leads. We're going to pull these apart. And it says remove the 4 outside housing screws, which are these right here. On the corners. Okay, and now it says remove the 4 inside screws, so that's these right here on the insides. Okay, still some water in there. All right, are these the same length? Okay, they are the same length, but these inner ones have a different washer stack, so maybe pay attention to that. The inner ones seem to have double washers. It doesn't look like we're reusing the screws. Okay, so there's that part of it. So that's where it cracked right inside there. And of course the pump's oriented like this with the motor up. So water was just sitting down here and that's where it froze and split it. Okay, good. Now this is what we're looking at here. And it looks like, as far as the replacement parts go, this is the exact same thing as this, except it came with the new O-ring, which is nice. So we're going to drop that in. And it just says set it in there. It doesn't say to put anything on it. Okay, so when I took it apart, I didn't pay close attention to which way this goes, whether it's like that or like that. And so, fortunately, Shurflo was nice enough to think about people like me that aren't paying close attention. that the inlet and outlet are opposite of where the feet are there. Okay, so nice then to put it instructions on there. So we're going to put this on opposite like this, and we've got our little O-ring replaced in there, and we're going to kind of gently seat it as gently as possible. Okay, feels pretty good. Now, as far as the screws go, it came with 8 of these flat washers and only 4 lock washers. Okay, so we're going to basically use the 4 lock washers with the flat washers on the outside in the inner parts right here. Okay. Okay, so it says to tighten the inner 4 housing screws to 25 to 32 inch-pounds, tighten the 4 outers to 25 to 32, and then attach the leads back. It should be done. So just since I had it, I used it, inch-pound torque wrench set to 32 inch-pounds, set up like that, kind of a lot, but I had it, so I used it. I have read, though, on reviews that these come loose from the factory, or can come when the pump arrives, is what I mean. They're not tight enough, and people have leaks around here, and they complain about that. But one person said, all you have to do is tighten the screws. Don't send it back. Just tighten this. They're just not tight enough. And so, sure enough, when we got our other 2 pumps, the E65s, we just put a screwdriver on it. Sure enough, we got like 3/4 of a turn out of a lot of them. So I was kind of surprised that they were seated so lightly. If I didn't have this, I would just use this and, you know, tighten it down till it contacts and kind of stops, and then just give it one little kind of tweak. And if it leaks after that, you obviously needs a little bit more. So I'm not sure I'd go buy a torque wrench just for that. All right, let's get the wires back on here. Oh, look, it comes with a replacement wire right there. Now we're going to hook this up to some water I have in a bucket here, and we're going to see if it pumps. Okay, so we've hooked up a couple jumpers from the battery. We've got the red plugged into there. We're going to plug in the black one here, just make sure it runs. Sounds kind of clunky, doesn't it? So we're just going to dip this in here and see if it pumps water. Ooh, that's moving some water, isn't it?